coming up on the final sports night of the school year. It's our annual award show. It's time to see which first year had the most dominant rookie season.
Speaking of dominance, we had some fantastic squads who made some historic runs over the past 9 months, and we will tell you which of them earned Team of the Year.
And we had some incredible seasons from our athletes, but it's time for us to tell you which athlete had the best season.
It's the last show of the year, so you know we're going to send it out the right way. So do not move a muscle. It's the final sports night right now.
Welcome back to Sports Night. Thank you for joining us. I'm Andy Payton.
And I'm Miles Miller. We've got some end of the year awards to hand out tonight, and we're going to start with the best female first year, but I've got a first year of my own up here to my right. Andy, how would you describe your first year at Northwestern?
You know, Miles, I'd say it's been pretty good. Well, except for my stats grade right now.
Man, I'm sorry to hear that, Andy. But you know who's having no trouble in the stats department? Our nominees for Best Female First Year Athlete, and here they are. Our first nominee is women's basketball first year, Veronica Burton, guard out of Newton, Massachusetts. Burton is the 8th member of her family to attend Northwestern, and many of them were athletes, so Burton has Wildcat athletics in her blood. She made her mark on the hardwood in 2018-19. She led the team in assists and steals, and was second on the team in minutes played, three-pointers made, free throw percentage, and three-point field goal percentage, and helped the squad advance all the way to the women's NIT championship game.
And our second nominee is Izzy Skane. Skane had one of the most impressive freshman years in women's lacrosse history. She was named Big Ten Freshman of the Year of the Week 7 different times throughout the season, earned a spot as a member on the All Big Ten team, and was awarded the 2019 Big Ten Freshman of the Year. She was second for the Cats in goals and points with 57 goals and 74 points on the season. Skane has been a big name all year and played a huge role in defeating the #1 ranked Maryland Terrapins earlier in the season when she had 4 goals and 4 assists.
Our final nominee for this category is softball's Danielle Williams. The pitcher from Pleasanton, California was absolutely lights out for the Wildcat softball team and was a key cog in the team's run to the NCAA Super Regionals. Williams posted a 31-8 record on the year as a starter and pitched 13 shutouts and recorded 317 strikeouts. She joins a select list of Wildcats as one of just 4 pitchers in program history to win at least 30 games in the season while posting over 300 strikeouts.
And the winner of Best Female First Year is pitcher Danielle Williams. Although Veronica Burton and Izzy Skane both had stellar first-year seasons, Danielle Williams had what might just be the greatest first-year season ever by any Northwestern athlete. Williams was named National Freshman of the Year by the NFCA, Big Ten Freshman of the Year, and became just the 12th Wildcat ever to be named All-American. Williams had a 1.55 ERA and a .258 batting average on the season. She was also just 1 out short back in February from a no-hitter. Now let's switch it over to the men's side. It can be very intimidating to be a first-year athlete at Northwestern. There's tons of pressure on you to prove that you belong, and usually, pressure bursts pipes. But with these nominees, pressure made diamonds. Our first nominee for Best First-Year Male Athlete is shortstop Sean Gusenberg. Gusenberg had quite the freshman campaign in 104 at-bats. He led the baseball team with 14 doubles, 3 triples, 12 stolen bases, 27 RBIs, and he ended the season with a .288 batting average. He played a major role in this team from its start when he went 4 for 4 at the plate with 2 doubles and never looked back. Goosenberg was named to the All-Big Ten freshman team as well as the All-Big Ten third team.
The next nominee is running back Isaiah Bowser. Hailing from Sydney, Ohio, Bowser was thrusted into the lead running back role for the Wildcats football team after the retirement of Jeremy Larkin, and Bowser did not disappoint. Bowser led the team in rushing attempts, rushing yards, yards from scrimmage, and rushing touchdowns. Bowser was the top skill player for a team that finished first in the Big Ten West and earned its first Big Ten title game appearance in program history.
And our last nominee is David Najal. Najal had a standout rookie year. He was named to the All-Big Ten first team and won Big Ten Freshman of the Year. Najal had 6 top 25 finishes, 4 top 10 finishes, and 2 top 5 finishes, including winning the University of North Carolina Grandover's Collegiate Championship in October. Najal finished tied for 11th at the Big Ten Championship, qualifying him for the NCAA Regional Championship, where he shot 3 under par.
And the award goes to, drum roll please, Isaiah Bowser. Isaiah Bowser got this award because when he took over the starting running back role in the 7th game of the season against Rutgers, he ran away with it, all puns intended, totaling 866 rushing yards in the final 8 games of the season. His very first game, he ran for 108 yards with 2 touchdowns and balled out against Big Ten opponents throughout the year, with 100-yard rushing totals against Wisconsin, Iowa, and Illinois.
Don't go anywhere, because when we come back, we have plenty more awards to hand out and highlights of the final softball and lacrosse games of the season. We'll be right back with more Sports Night.
At Northwestern, we're Wildcats in every way.
Northwestern break right through that. With our colors flying, we will cheer you all the go. Go you Northwestern, fight for victory, sweet victory, for the fame of our fair name, and go Northwestern, win that game. Go Cats!
At Northwestern University, we are pioneering innovation and achieving excellence across every imaginable discipline. At Northwestern University, the possibilities are endless.
Welcome back. It's been a great year for Northwestern athletics. What was a highlight for you, Andy?
You know, Miles, I'd have to say that my favorite highlight would probably be when Northwestern came back in the 3rd quarter and had that historic comeback against the Utah Utes in the Holiday Bowl. How about you?
I mean, you can't go wrong with that. I'm going to say my favorite thing from the past year has been the historic postseason runs that some of our women's teams made.
Yeah, especially our lacrosse and softball teams. But speaking of our softball team, Miles, after just getting past the Louisville Cardinals 2 weeks ago here in Evanston, the Northwestern women's softball team shipped out to Norman, Oklahoma to face the #1 ranked Oklahoma Sooners in a best-of-3 series at the Super Regional. How did they do? Let's find out. For Game 1 at the Super Regional for the Cats, they gave the ball to their freshman ace, Danielle Williams, but the Sooners got to Williams quick. With an RBI double off the wall from Jocelyn Allo, in left center. In the bottom of the first, Oklahoma would jump out to an early lead. It's not looking good for the Cats. In the bottom of the fifth, an almost identical hit from the Sooners drives in another run off the bat of Callie Clifton, and she would score. The Sooners would now lead the Cats 2-0. And after tacking on another run in the fifth, the Sooners would close out Game 1 with a nice grab as Oklahoma would win 3-0 and take a 1-0 series lead. Now let's go on to Game 2. Game 2 of the series, and manager Kate Drone would once again give the ball to Williams. This is a must-win for the Cats. After scoring one in the first, Sydney Romero doubles the Sooners' lead with a bomb to left field, her 19th of the season, to put Oklahoma up 2-0 in the third. Later in the inning, Jocelyn Allo would join the fun, crushing a 2-run shot to left. Sooners would now lead the Cats 4-0. And in the top of the 7th inning, Lynslyn Ilm hits another home run, the Sooners' 5th of the game and 108th of the season, and it would be a school record, and the Cats fall 8-0.
One thing that we learned this year is that Northwestern lacrosse is back. Their success this season is reminiscent of the glory days of old that produced 5 straight national championships and 7 titles in 8 years. The Wildcats were back in the Final Four for the first time since 2014, and they faced a familiar foe in number 1 ranked Maryland. Northwestern split the season series with Maryland but beat the Terrapins earlier this month in the Big Ten tournament. They battled Friday, with the winner earning a national championship berth. Number 4 Northwestern versus number 1 Maryland NCAA semifinal in Baltimore. Izzy Skane scores the first goal of the Cats. No assists necessary. Cats tie up the game in the first half with the Selena Lesotho goal. Things all knotted up at 4. Now the Cats down 3. Liza Elder scores off the nice assist by Emily Stein. Cats were down by 4 at halftime. The Cats gaining some momentum in the second half, and Selena Lesotho leads by example. Northwestern down 13-9. Following that, Emily Stein, assisted by Lindsay McCone, the lead is down to 3. Don't call it a comeback. Izzy Skane cuts the lead to 2 as she scores again, and the NU fans are on their feet. They want more. Cats down 13-11, but the number 1 ranked Terrapins sharply respond with 2 goals of their own. Emily Stein, assisted by Lindsay McCone, keeps the Cats in it. The final score from the Cats came from Izzy Skane, but Northwestern would lose 25-13, ending their season. Now, we just watched highlights of 2 great teams in women's lacrosse and softball. Both had long winning streaks and made deep postseason runs. But which team was better? Is it softball? Is it lacrosse? Is there another dark horse lurking somewhere out there that could argue that the case that their 2018-2019 season was better than these two? Let's get to the nominees for the Team of the Year award. The first nominee is softball. They posted a 47-13 record on the season. They lost 1 home game all season. They lost 2 games in regular season Big Ten play, both to Minnesota. They had 4 all Big Ten selections, 3 all Big Ten freshman team selections. Daniel Williams was unanimous for both, and Daniel Williams was the Big Ten Freshman of the Year, and Kate Drohan won Big Ten Coach of the Year.
Our second nominee is the women's lacrosse team. The lacrosse team boasted an impressive 16-5 record, won the Big Ten tournament, and made it to the Final Four for the first time since 2014. This year's team had 4 Big Ten honorees: Selena Lesotho, Ali Palomero, Brenna Dwyer, and Izzy Skane. The Cats also had key wins this season against Notre Dame, North Carolina, Boston College, and the number 1 ranked team in the country, the Maryland Terrapins, for the first time since 2012.
And our final nominee is the Northwestern football team. They had a 9-5 record on the season and won the Big Ten West for the first time ever. They went on to face Ohio State in the Big Ten title game in Indianapolis. They finished the season ranked number 22 and defeated number 17 Utah in the Holiday Bowl. That made 3 straight bowl wins for the Northwestern football program.
And the winner of Team of the Year is the women's softball team. The women's softball team had one of the most historic seasons in program history. The team was led by first years Danielle Williams, Jordan Rudd, and Maeve Nelson, who were all named to the Big Ten freshman team, as well as Coach Katie Drone, who had been named Big Ten Coach of the Year. The team won 93% of their games and had an overall record of 47-13, going 21-2 in Big Ten play. The Cats had a 20-game win streak during the season and did not lose a single game in the month of April. On top of all that, the team hosted their regional in the NCAAs this season for the first time in 11 years. Being a Northwestern student is extremely challenging. It can be hard to find the time to stay on top of your schoolwork and still make time for practice. But our next award goes to a student athlete who can balance their time on and off the court and still find time to keep it real on social media. Let's see who the best nominees for Best Social Media Presence is. We are now under 100 days till kickoff, but that can't stop us from getting hype already. After a stellar 9-5 season that included a bowl win over the Utah Utes, the Cats are now subject to a behind-the-scenes look from Big Ten Network. From the practice field to the community, these Cats always have us on our toes.
And there's no better hype man along Sheridan Road. Charlie Hall is our second nominee. Between his stellar on-court play and hilarious Instagram posts and captions, there was no way we could keep him off our list. Now, his time as a Wildcat may be up. We will not soon forget his one free throw against Lewis last season. Hall will be synonymous with being a member of the first ever NCAA tournament team.
Our third finalist is wide receiver Ramon Kiko Bowman. For the season, Ramon racked up 237 receiving yards, including 64 against Utah in the bowl game. By a look at these highlights, Ramon is ready for a breakout season coming up this fall.
And the winner for Best Social Media Presence is Ramad Chakial Bowman, or OC Madi B, as he's known on Twitter and Instagram. When he isn't on the field, you're sure to find Ramad living his best life. Take a look at these locker room dance moves. This video alone racked up 374,000 views on Ramad's Twitter page. Now, this isn't the first time Ramad's locker room dance moves have gone viral. He also went viral after the Cats knocked off Kentucky last year after the Music City Bowl.
It's time to find out who are the best athletes of the year. Don't go anywhere, because when we come back, we have more awards for the best male and female athlete are coming right up.
At Northwestern, we're Wildcats in every way.
Go Northwestern, break right through that. With our colors flying, we will cheer you all the go. Go you Northwestern, fight for victory, sweet victory, for the fame of our fair name, and go Northwestern, win that game. Go Cats!
At Northwestern University, we are pioneering innovation and achieving excellence across every imaginable discipline. At Northwestern University, the possibilities are endless.
Welcome back. Miles, one of the biggest sporting events in the world starts tonight, the NBA Finals, in just 45 minutes. I got one question for you. Who you got?
I mean, I got the Warriors. I know the Raptors have home country advantage, but I think the Warriors are clicking on all cylinders right now. It doesn't matter who the Raptors have, Kawhi, Kawhi, I don't care. Warriors in 5, tell me you agree.
I do. I say I have to agree. The Warriors look unbeatable per usual right now, and as great as Kawhi Leonard is, I just don't think he can carry them to more than one win in the series. But just like Kawhi, these nominees for Best Male Athlete carried their teams to plenty of victories. Our first nominee for Best Male Athlete of the Year is Clayton Thorson. Thorson, a fifth-year senior and captain, started all 14 of this past season's games. Even after tearing his ACL less than a year ago, the senior threw for 3,183 yards and 17 touchdowns, including leading the team to its third consecutive bowl win in 4 seasons, making this graduating class the winningest postseason class in Northwestern football history, earning him all Big Ten honorable mention.
Our next nominee is wrestling phenom Sebastian Rivera, redshirt sophomore, baddest man at 125 pounds. He has been ranked #1 at wrestler at 125 pounds since January. He went undefeated at 125 pounds. His only regular season loss was when he decided to go up a weight class and take on the #1 wrestler at 133 pounds, and he took 3rd place at the NCAA championships.
Our final nominee for Male Athlete of the Year knows a thing or two about getting on base. Senior shortstop Jack Dunn started every game for the 3rd consecutive year and led the team with 65 hits, 35 RBIs, and 43 runs scored. He had 19 multi-hit games, which was the most on the team for the 2nd consecutive season. And he had a 10-game hit streak in March. Dunn finished his career with 230 hits, the 9th most in program history, and was named first team All Big Ten.
And the best male athlete of the year is starting quarterback, Clayton Thorson. Clayton Thorson, as Andy mentioned, Thorson started all 14 games for his senior season, threw 3,183 yards and 17 touchdowns. Thorson started the most games by a quarterback in Big Ten history with 53. He also finished as the program leader in career passing yards with 10,731 completions, attempts, and touchdowns. Thorson became the 6th player in Big Ten history to surpass 10,000 career passing yards, and this month he was drafted in the 6th round of the NFL draft by the Philadelphia Eagles. And now we turn from the best male athlete to the best female athlete award. All of these women put up crazy numbers this season with consistent performances game in and game out. Each of our nominees racked up countless awards and accolades through their respective seasons, but who will take home the award for Female Athlete of the Year? Which, let's be honest, is the most coveted award out there. First up is women's basketball player Palace Kanaya Akpana. It was a banner year for the forward from Nigeria. Palace averaged a double-double for the entire season. She recorded 19 double-doubles on the year and broke the all-time Northwestern record for that mark in a single season. Kanaya Akpana earned academic All-Big Ten honors as well as a first-team All-Big Ten selection this year. Her 78 rebounds in the 6 women's NIT games are the most by any player in the history of the tournament.
Our second nominee is redshirt senior attack Selena Lasota. Lasota started in 19 games this season and began her senior campaign with 5 goals in a 21-11 win over the Louisville Cardinals on February 8th. She also recorded 3 goals, 2 assists, 5 points, and 1 ground ball in an NCAA quarterfinal victory over Syracuse on May 18th. She led the Cats this season with 82 goals and 100 points and was named Big Ten Attacker of the Year. Lasota ranked 2nd in the Big Ten with 4.39 goals per game.
Our final nominee is Danielle Williams. And if that name sounds familiar, it's because she was also awarded Best Female First Year earlier in the show. She's the only non-senior to be nominated in this category. It just goes to show how dominant Williams was this season. You've heard the accolades: NFCA National Freshman of the Year, Big Ten Freshman of the Year, unanimous first team All Big Ten, and Big Ten All Freshman Team honors, as well as first team NFCA All Great Lakes region, and became just the 6th rookie Wildcat ever to earn All-American status.
And the winner of Female Athlete of the Year is redshirt senior attacker Selena Lasota. This was a super close race between Williams, Paulus, and Lasota. All 3 players had incredible seasons, especially first-year Danielle Williams, but we had to give the award to Lasota. Lasota, a redshirt senior, has been one of the biggest names for the lacrosse program for the past 5 years. She has regularly been in the running for the Tewaaraton Award since her freshman year, an award given to the best collegiate lacrosse player, and has consistently been on the preseason All-American watch list. Lasota has accomplished many things most lacrosse players only dream of, including competing for the Canadian national team at the 2017 International Federation of Lacrosse World Cup. This season, Lasota was an All-Big Ten team member, an Inside Lacrosse preseason media first team, a 3-time Big Ten Offensive Player of the Week, and a Tewaaraton Award finalist. She leaves Northwestern with 276 goals and 314 points in 84 game appearances.
After the break, we show you the best plays of the season, and I cry live on desk, so stick around.
At Northwestern, we're Wildcats in every way.
Northwestern break right through that. With our colors flying, we will cheer you all to go. Go you Northwestern, fight for victory, sweet victory, spread for the fame of our fair name, and go Northwestern, win that game. Go Cats!
At Northwestern University, we are pioneering innovation and achieving excellence across every imaginable discipline. At Northwestern University, the possibilities are endless.
Welcome back to Sports Night. We're going to get right into it. Here are the top plays of the year. At number 3, we have wide receiver Bennett Skowronek with this spectacular touchdown catch against Iowa. Skowronek caught the pass and Northwestern caught the dub in the game.
At number 2, it is Selena Lasota with an incredible behind the back, no-look pass against the Michigan Wolverines. It was so good, we had to show you it a couple more times. Miles, I know I can't do that. I can't even hold a lacrosse stick.
And our top play of the year, I don't know what else it would be besides this. Joe Gaziano gets the strip sack, and Jared McGee picks the ball up and runs it back 82 yards for the touchdown to complete the comeback and seal the Holiday Bowl victory for the Wildcats. I think my boy Jared is still running that ball back to this day.
Well, thank you for watching Sports Night tonight and all year long. Thank you to all the Sports Night members and the control room crew who make the show possible every week. And make sure to come back here in the fall for more Sports Night.
While we're up here expressing gratitude, I'd like to take the time to say thank you. As a graduating senior, this will be my last Sports Night show ever. Words cannot describe how much Internet Sports has meant to me during my 3 years here. Internet Sports has given me a home where every week I can get to have fun with a group of people who love sports just like me. I've made connections and friendships that will last me a lifetime, and I've learned skills that I can take with me wherever I go throughout my career. Sports Night allowed me to come in here and live out my dream and act a fool every single week, and I'm going to miss it so much. So thank you to everyone who's ever come through Sports Night and helped out in any way possible. Anyone who's ever sat next to me on desk or showed me how to do an edit or how to work a camera, it means the world to me. I'm excited to keep following Sports Night, and I know the show is in good hands. With that said, make sure to follow us on Twitter and Instagram, like us on Facebook, and keep watching Sports Night. Good night.